Welcome back, everybody. Today we've got not an unboxing or a review, but a piece of general advice, something to pay attention to. And this is a thing that I run into a couple of times myself, and I'm hoping that this saves people some unwanted costs here. And what I'm talking about is I've had some trouble charging my Oneplus 7 Pro. Now, there's nothing physically wrong with the phone. And I know I just said I've been having issues charging it. And I'm hoping that my clear case here is showing off a hint as to what's happened. But if not, I'll explain it in a second. What the symptom is it's not securely locking in the USB-C connector. So if I, as I just showed you, plug in a cable and give it a little wiggle, out it pops. Now what's happened, and you'll see a fair amount of this, and I apologize that it's probably disgusting, is that lint has built up inside the USB-C port. And you can see there's some of it inside my cover. Now there's a couple of different ways people can go about this, and some of them are safer than others. And we're going to try two of the safer ones because I don't want to tell you anything dangerous. And the first thing we're going to do is I just went down to the dollar store and picked up a pack of children's toothbrushes. So I just bought these today. They're just kids' toothbrushes. They're soft. And what I'm going to do is just try and brush out some of that gunk from the USB-C port. So I'm going to very carefully insert this, and just with a gentle repetitive motion, see if I can't get any of the crap out. And I can see some of it already on this white paper, and that's part of why I use this, and I hope that comes through. And I'm going to go do the same thing in the opposite direction, and we're just going to do that for a couple of minutes. You can see lots of dirt just flaking right out. Repeat that just a few times, back and forth. Flip it over and I can actually see some of the larger pieces of debris. Set it down on the volume button. Don't do that. Now the source of this is a few different places. In my case, the key contributor is that I tend to wear jeans, and therefore a lot of this is just lint from floating around in my pants pocket. And you'll get the same kind of stuff with purses, backpacks, and various other bags. Alright, so I don't know if that's going to come through, but that looks a fair amount cleaner. I can still see some stuff in there, so I'm going to keep at this for a minute, but I'll probably fast forward through the rest of this. Some of this looks like it might even be cat hair. Alright, so with that done, still not locking in as securely as I would like. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get something non-metallic. And that could be a very small toothpick, a dental flosser, a folded up piece of paper. You can use any of those to very carefully along the sides of the USB-C port scrape around. And I'll be right back. Alright, so I've grabbed 3 different types of dental pick that I could use. These first 2 are fairly basic, and you're not really going to risk damaging anything unless you intentionally do so. This one, I'm not sure on. It contains little bristles and some sort of stiff core, and I don't know if that's metal or not. Whatever it is definitely coated. And the reason I'm saying to avoid metal things is there's power out on the USB-C pins in your phone. So you don't really want to short anything if you can help it. I don't think you're going to damage it if you accidentally brush something in there. They, are supposed to detect if it's a short as opposed to a legitimate device. But that doesn't mean I want to invite something bad to happen intentionally anyway. So with that out of the way, I think I'm going to use this green one first. And just gently push it in, move it across, and then kind of lever anything out. And I don't see anything coming along with it. But I can feel stuff in there, and I can see that it's changing color, so it's definitely getting some of it out. Just not giant, massive pieces of lint or anything like that, which I've had happen. So I'm going to go ahead and give this one a try. There we go. I can feel that one. Now what you don't want to do is shove anything too thick in here and potentially damage the USB-C plug. And do you see that debris that just popped out? These large pieces here? That's probably our main culprit of what's been stopping me from getting a decent connection with the USB-C plug. And now that I've poked around with these, I'm just going to take the brush and go back at it again. I can see some larger pieces of debris were loosened with those and are coming out now. I'm just going to spend, another 10-15 seconds doing it in one direction, flip it over, do it again, and then really quick off camera I'm going to take a peek into it with a flashlight and see if I see anything particularly large at this point. And I don't see anything huge, but I do see a little more debris than I want to. So I'm just going to go back through this with these picks again, and you can see this one got bent doing that. So just straighten that out. And all the stuff that you have seen me use so far, I literally just picked up at Dollar Tree. These aren't special tools. To my knowledge, there aren't special tools. Look at that big clump of lint pocket fabric that came out. So, and now just once more with the brush, and then we're going to try the USB cable again. And you might ask yourself, why am I showing you this? Well, I've had people, even other editors at Pocketables, complain that their phone stopped charging. And I can see one more thing in there that I want to get. And they're worried that the phone is damaged. And I mentioned to the other editor, there we go. I had to clean mine out recently. So why don't you try that? And he did. He went in it, and I think he used a toothpick. But that saved, $4,500 at some cell phone repair shop to basically have them do the same thing. They might open the device when they go to clean it, which is actually a riskier proposition than anything I've done here. But at the end of the day, let's see if I can... All of this came out of my USB-C port because I've had this phone for 2 years at this point. And now, it's not falling off the cable. I'm shaking it just as much, if not more, than before. And it looks like it is still a little looser than it was out of the factory eventually. But it's not just falling right off. I can actually hold the phone up by the cable with a fair degree of confidence. And that's going to stop it from coming unplugged in the middle of the night, because I have cats and they climb on things. And I can't trust that the phone... Before today, I could not trust that if I set the phone down, the phone would charge overnight. And that's a problem. But it wasn't the phone's fault. It was this dirt. And honestly, I don't know if there is a solution to this other than getting a case with a little folding dirt cover. And those break off over time if you do get one. So anyway, long story short, if you paid attention to this whole thing, I basically spent 10 minutes. Some of that was actually, spent talking to you guys. And I cleaned out my phone, and now it's better off for it. And, I'll make sure that it charges overnight before I publish this. But overall, it's almost as good as new. Now, there is a finite number of times that you can do something like this. Eventually, the port will wear out. And the longer and the more debris like this stays in the port, the more abrasive action you have grinding at everything anytime you plug it in and unplug it. But this is definitely the first thing to try before you go spend money getting a port replaced on a phone. That's all we have today, folks. I'll link, the closest thing I can find to these tools on Amazon. Honestly, go to the dollar store, buy them there. Go to the grocery store and buy them there. This represents $3 in supplies, and I actually got 3 toothbrushes, like 12 of these, and this came in a 50 pack. And I actually had these anyway. The only reason I bought this toothbrush was so that I would have a clean one to use for this. And I wanted soft bristles. I didn't want hard bristles. I didn't want to push anything too stiff in there. Although, in hindsight, maybe a harder toothbrush may have cleaned out more without the assistance of pokey bits. As always, I want to thank our patrons, anyone who subscribes to the channel, and anyone who uses our Amazon affiliate links. It is support like that that helps make videos like this possible. I want to thank Electrix for providing our opening and closing themes. And finally, thank you for watching.